So previously I had touched on Hannah, Samson's mother. I found this little teaching in the book of Judges. It's called Name Your Price. Takes inspiration from Judges 16, Matthew 27 verse 3 to 10, and Romans chapter 12 verse 21. It is a bit of a hard one to get through. It's very convicting. But I feel like sometimes we need to hear that and we need to reassess what's going on in our own lives. So let's get into it. So through the ages, plenty has been said about Delilah, and not much of it is nice. The Bible tells us she was loved by Samson, a judge of nation of Israel, and a man with an enormously impressive and depressive backstory. Born to a barren mother, Samson was the only judge to be called from the womb into judgeship. He was born under a Nazirite vow forbidding him to drink strong drink, touch anything dead, or cut his hair ever. By the time Samson met Delilah, he'd already broken 2/3 of the Nazirite vow, making it evident he had no interest in delivering Israel. The Philistines saw Delilah as their opportunity to overcome Samson at last. On Delilah's fourth attempt to find the source of his great strength, Samson finally trusts her, or cannot stand another moment of her nagging. Either way, he tells Delilah the truth behind his superhuman strength. That night, as she lulls him to sleep on her lap, a man shaves Samson's head entirely. The third portion of the Nazirite vow is broken, and the Spirit of the Lord leaves him. The Philistines gouge out his eyes and make him their slave. Do you see yourself in Samson, called to something great, maybe even given a position of influence, but using your privilege for your own gain, forsaking the reason you were sent to serve? Maybe you see yourself in Delilah, like the nagging wife Proverbs 19:13 warns against. Are you pursuing your own agenda, doing what it takes to get your way? Perhaps we see a bit of ourselves in both of them, but when I read Judges 16, I really want to know is, where do we see Jesus? Look how much Delilah paid to betray Samson, 1,100 pieces of silver per person from the lords of the Philistines who approached her. Maybe there were 2 of them, maybe there were 20. The Bible doesn't say. Either way, that's a lot of silver. Do you remember how many pieces of silver Judas was paid to betray Jesus? 30 pieces of silver. Mercy. I am quick to judge Delilah for her disloyalty, for what a deceitful woman she seemed to be. But when I remember that Jesus' own discipline betrayed him for a fraction of her fee, my heart hardly knows what to think. Judas, how could you sell Jesus for so little? And what is my price? What lights my eyes and feels worth forsaking my Savior for even a moment? I'm praying no price is high enough for us to betray Jesus. I'm praying by God's grace we would not be overcome by evil's nagging or bought with its shiny facade. I'm praying in the ways of Romans 12:21. We could conquer evil with good. I feel like, I think that this passage definitely convicts me. It convicts me, I can think back to so many examples of this. But, it is up to us. We're lucky that God sent his son Jesus to, so that we are forgiven and that we are saved by grace. But when you think back to the Old Testament, it is quite harsh. God's judgment is quite harsh on people. And the fact that, the Spirit of the Lord left Samson after they betrayed him and shaved his head, it is quite sad the way that things ended for Samson. But I guess we are so lucky that that God sent his son Jesus to die for us, and that we do have that grace. But that doesn't mean that we should take it for granted like Samson did. We always do need to take accountability for our sin and keep trying to do our best with that. But yeah, I hope that this was encouraging for someone today, and may the Lord bless you all.